Hey guys, so today I wanted to make a video to show you how to change the logic motherboard in the Motorola Moto X2 second generation. So first of all, you want to do is make sure that your device is powered off. Then you want to take a SIM eject tool and remove the SIM card tray. So remove that. Use the same SIM card tray removal tool or something similar that you can push in. There's a little hole right in here that you can push up and you can see the back start separating right there. So what you can do is do that, and then what I use is a really thin pry tool like this. I'll link to this in the description so you can find it. And it just opens it up so you can start using that if you want. Then you can just start sliding carefully down the side here like this. It just has adhesive under it and you can just work your way down around with this. Just keep working your way around. Now when you get up here close to the volume and power buttons, you want to be careful. There's some wires in here, but they're in a little bit, so you can, as long as you stay out close to the edge, you're fine as you go up through here. So I would say just keep working your way all the way around. Then once you have everything quite loose, what you can do is just start lifting up whatever way it wants to come off the best, and the back cover comes right off like that. Next, what you will want to do is use a plastic pry tool or something like that. I prefer something non-metallic. And go ahead and remove this rubber plug right here. Then it comes off. Set it to the side. Then you want to disconnect the battery right here. Pry up on it carefully. I'll include links in the video description for any tools that I'm going to be using today on this repair, or any parts that I'm going to be replacing. I'll include links for them as well in the video description so you can check them out there. So next what we're going to do is use a screwdriver size T4, Torx T4, and we're going to want to remove all these screws all the way around the outside perimeter here. All the black ones, there should be 18 of them. There's 2 in these pockets as well. And don't remove this silver one for the power and volume button. Just remove all the black ones here, and you don't need to worry about these 3 silver ones around the logo here either. So next, now that you use a T4 screwdriver and you took all the screws all the way around, you don't have to worry about mixing the screws up. They're all the same size. Just want to let you know. So next, what you want to do is just grab this and start separating. It should come right apart, just like that. Next, what we're going to want to do is grab a tweezers or something, and we're going to want to carefully pry up on this yellow tape right here, and you want to set that off to the side. Then what we're going to do is carefully pry up on this black part right here, and we're going to flip it up so it's a 90 degrees like this. And then we want to grab something and just carefully pull this connector straight back. Just get it out of there carefully. Then what we're going to do is for this connector right here, remove that tape there, set it off to the side and save it. Then we're going to carefully pry up on this black part right here in the back. Flip it up, and we're going to wiggle this out so it comes loose, and carefully pry right under this. It has adhesive under it. You just want to wiggle it loose and get it to come up like that. Now the logic board is free to pry out of here. There's a spot right here that's holding down the logic board, and there's a clip right in here as well. So what we're going to do is just carefully start right under in this corner. We're just going to pry up, then we're going to get over to where this part is right here, and it should just snap up out of there. So we want to get this out first, and then we're going to want to watch this connector right here, and we're going to want to watch this one. So we can just carefully wiggle this loose, and we can slide it sideways out of there, and the logic board comes out just like that. So now if you're changing your logic board over to a different phone and you want to make sure that it has certain things, if it doesn't have them, you'll want to swap them over to your new board, or used board I should say, whichever one you're using. There's just a few things to point out. A couple things that we might need to swap over to your board is this rubber right here and this rubber right here. They just basically lift off of there. You can just pick them up and they pull off like that. Put them back onto your new board. So those 2 things might have to be swapped over. And the rear camera could be one, and the front camera could be one, and the earpiece speaker could be one. So we'll just go through really quick and show you how to do those. First of all, for the rear camera, we would have to remove this yellow part right here, this yellow tape. I'm just going to set it here. And then what you would need to do is flip up on this white part right here, so it's up at a 90 like this. And you grab the rear camera, pick it up carefully, and just slide it straight back, and the rear camera comes out. So to swap it over to your board, before you set the camera down, you would stick it in there, slide it all the way into the white line, then press down on this white part again. You can either do it with this or this part. You can set the rear camera down. Then you would put the tape back on the connector right here. Then also for the front camera, you would just pry up on this connector right here using either your fingernail or this part like I am. The camera comes out just like that. So you just put it back in, press down on that connector, make sure it's in. Then that swaps over the rear camera. Then the earpiece speaker, I use something like the tweezers here, and just stick it in this part right here, and it just pries up out of there. So you would swap that over to your new logic board just by pressing down. Make sure that the part of the connector that sticks up the furthest towards you is down. And then that would be pretty much all the things that I can think of that you would need to swap over to your new board. So to reassemble, grab your logic board, set it down in here like this, get these connectors lined up. Then what we're going to want to do is line it up here first with this part right here. So we'll want to try to pick up and make sure that it's in right there. And then we'll want to set everything down back here. And we'll want to snap this part in down here. So then that's all snapped in. Then what we're going to do is go ahead and stick this connector down. Now you want to make sure to press that in as far as it goes and then relatch that. Then for this part, line it up, press it in as far as it goes, relatch that one. Make sure the front camera is setting down in like it's supposed to. Next we're going to grab this part, set it right down on here, clip it in the best you can. It doesn't really want to stay until we get some screws in it. Let's reconnect the battery down in there. You can go ahead and put the battery plug back in there. Go ahead and put all the screws in all the way around. So to reinstall the back cover, what you can do, for the most part you can reuse the adhesive that's on here if you take it off carefully. If you do need some for some reason, you can either get some actual adhesive, and I'll link to this where you can find it, or if you want to use like this double-sided adhesive, it's just like a 2mm double-sided. I'll link to this in the video description too where you can find it. So what you can do is just grab your back cover once you're all set, just set it down on here, make sure it lines up everywhere, and just press it down really well and it sticks right down. If you want to just give it a little heat with a heat gun or something, a hair dryer or something, just give it a little heat with that and you'll find that it'll stick right down better. Go ahead and put your SIM card tray back in. You'll be all set. Thanks for watching.